Welcome to Home Buyers School, brought to you by Brookfield Residential.
Hi everyone, and welcome to another edition of Home Buyers School. Today I'm joined by Kevin French with Remax Realty, and the question we're going to answer today is, what is the best way to sell my home? So Kevin, what is the process or the steps required to sell my house?
The steps required vary on who you decide to work with, but I'm going to go over my steps because I think that they're pretty good.
Okay.
Step one for listing the property is I have my designer go into the home. She meets with the homeowners and she goes through and preps the property for sale with them. So might be there for an hour and a half, sometimes 3.5 hours. And then she goes through and says, get rid of this, change that. That art is too bright. Make it more neutral, repaint that wall, potentially change that furniture out. She tries to work with what they have so that we're not increasing the cost for the seller, but then they can make small changes around the property to make it show in its best light. Essentially, try and make it look like a show home.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's one. Then after the property is prepped and the sellers have taken their time to do whatever they need to do, then we have it professionally measured so that it's being appropriately marketed and not deceiving, and it's being marketed at its largest square footage, and we're not under-marketing it to some extent. That also, at the same time, we do the photography. So the photographer goes through, it's all professional photography, depending on the type of the property. If it's a darker home, we will shoot it during the day. If it's a lighter home, then we have the option to, depending on time of year, we'll shoot twilight. So that ranges when sun's going down. Sometimes it's 11 o'clock at night, more in the summer. But then the property shows and stands out from all its competition in the area. Then once the property is on the market, it's listed on MLS. Then we have online marketing, of course, boosted social media, includes Instagram and Facebook. And then we have retargeted marketing as well. So the property will create a little ad that will show up on Global News, Yahoo.ca, whatever it may be, various sites that when you Google properties Calgary, Auburn Bay, properties Calgary, Citadel, whatever area it may be, then houses within that area it'll just continuously pop up on their Facebook.
So, and just for people who don't know, so retargeting is people who go to a specific website. If you retarget off them, people who go to the websites, they'll see the ad on various other different platforms for things you've seen. So you've probably seen it on Amazon. So if you were looking at, say, a new pair of shoes, that pair of shoes, you might see that on different platforms, whether it's on Facebook or whether you're navigating through the web too. Yeah. Any other steps?
Now the property is live and it's being appropriately marketed. Now we go to, of course, there's a signage, a for sale sign out front of the property. Open houses are up to the seller. Obviously, we encourage one or two, but not one every weekend. And then we obtain the feedback, which is one of the most important things throughout the selling process, and monitor the competition. So what you listed, when you review the competition and you listed at X price on day 1, day 14, 4 more properties may be the exact same that just listed for significantly less. So you have to monitor that and adjust, but also work with the feedback and go from there.
What is your client doing while this is happening? What are some of the things that they can do to help?
Everything our designer says.
Okay.
So keep the house in show-ready condition. We often have buyers come through and ask if the property is vacant. No, it's not. The sellers actually live there.
Yeah.
We've made it look like this so that you're not getting caught up. You're not walking through the home and looking at personal photos, which is number one that always comes up. You're not looking at someone's trip to Cuba. You're not looking at their extremely bright and potentially aggressive art that is taking your attention away. We want to keep it neutral, and we want people to walk through the home and look at the home. That's what they're there to look at, not personal things.
So how is that for the person currently living in the home? That's a little tough, right? Because they still have to use the house.
They do,
right?
Yeah.
So it's a little tough to, keep the house in that condition while at the same time living in the house, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of work, but I tell my clients when they're struggling with that, we have 2 options. We can do that and sell sooner for more money, or we can just reduce the price and you don't have to take care of anything.
Oh, you just kind of
it's very blunt, but it's a stark reality that if I just do this, I might make $10,000 more dollars. Maybe I should just do that.
Let's do that.
Yeah. It is work, though. There's no doubt about it.
Is it always a recommendation maybe to have the person selling the house live somewhere else? Did that help, and maybe for other people it won't be. It might not be.
No, that might be extreme. But I had a case recently where, which every property that's listed is unique to itself. So the selling process is also molded. So what I've just explained isn't necessarily what everybody would get. So this property was slightly older home, older furniture. Parts of the home were vacant because the children had moved out. So I decided to, and they had the option and they were intending on moving out. So I said, well, just move everything out, and then we virtually stage the property. So the photographer still shoots it, but then they add the furniture in every single room so that someone can see how the space can be utilized, because that's something that a lot of people have a hard time getting past. They walk through the home and they can't imagine where their TV is going to go, or how their sofa is going to fit in here, or how the dining room table is going to work. So by virtually staging it, it shows incredibly well online. But then when they get there and the furniture's not there, the seller didn't incur the cost of $2,500, $3,000 a month of physically staging, but yet the buyer still has the photos and they can see how it's going to be used.
Yeah. Any other steps?
It varies. When something needs to be done, we do it. So if someone is out of the country, for example, some recent clients, we go by and we clean the floors after there's a showing. We hire cleaners for properties that may need it because the person has a busy lifestyle and a couple children or whatever it may be. Whatever needs to be done, we'll just do that.
Great. Anything else to add?
No, that's good.
Great. Well, thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
That's another edition of Homebuyer School. Tune in next time for more expert tips and tricks. And visit homebuyersschool.ca to bring you one step closer to finding your dream home. As with everything, it would be great if you like and share our videos. Also, please let us know if you have any home buying questions you want us to answer.